and about what's new and different on the 2018 Subaru Outback. I want to focus on some certain quirks, features, upgrades, and little refinements of this car that the Subaru did to really just continue to improve the overall quality and experience of the vehicle. So I'll go over just a few of the exterior enhancements. So first thing we'll see is this new hexagonal grille with the black inserts here, the new just horizontal bar with the Subaru in the middle. Honestly, I think it looks sporty. From the pictures, I wasn't a fan, but it looks sporty. Next will be more bold and masculine plastic cladding up here around the fog light. The previous gen has a little bit less of that, so more protection to your standard paint. You're gonna have a little bit of blackout on the headlight enclosure, and it looks good, especially with this blue. The black and blue is a good contrast.
One thing to note is that the 2018 models with the EyeSight package will get the steering responsive headlights, so the actual enclosure right there will turn left and right versus the steering responsive fog lights of years past.
This is a premium trim with EyeSight package, so no navigation or anything, but it does have some of the rear cross traffic alert and whatnot, blind spot warning, and a few other features. One note is our mirror here. So regarding the blind spot alert, the light is actually on the inside here, whereas on the previous models you had a little light here. So it's more visible from the interior, as well as a new shape on the mirrors. And honestly, the LEDs on the turn signals are a lot brighter in this version. It's pretty nice. And I think we'll step inside. For the interior trim, you get some texture on your silver trim, which before, if you have the silver, it was just flat, I believe. And then I think on the higher trims you will get the wood trim, or the piano black if you go for the touring. Let's take a look at the new steering wheel. So one thing I will mention on this premium trim versus some of the upper trims, you do get the flat black on the steering wheel, which I like. I don't like the piano black in some of the higher trims. Up here is your cruise control and lane keeping. So up top, if you hit cruise control, you'll get this graphic. You can increase or decrease your following distance and set your speed. If you tap this, you'll get your lane keeping assist, which comes in somewhere around 37 miles per hour and will gently nudge you back into your lane. One interesting thing is this is an extension of the center area, so it's a horn. I was kind of pressing it and saying, oh look, that's an interesting design, and ended up blowing the horn, so just FYI. One little refinement is that the signal light is just a little bit quieter. It's not as loud. It's rather interesting. And let's move on to the infotainment screen. So, as you can tell, this is brand new. This is the larger 8-inch touchscreen. Has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. A little bit easier user interface. Your home with large icons, which are rather easy to use. Everything else is rather similar. The capacitive buttons on the side, the two knobs carry over. The disc slot is becoming a bit antique in the industry, but it's good that they have it because it's useful. So down here you have new climate control. So now in each of the dials you have screens to indicate your temperature, which is rather nice, honestly. You have your heated seats front, and these actually are cloth. So Subaru does well with having the cloth seats on the premium models, but retaining heated seats. And otherwise, everything is rather similar. You have your electronic parking brake, which actually engages and disengages a lot quieter than the previous version. You would hear the motors engaging the brake beforehand, but it's very quiet. The driving experience of this vehicle is just in general more refined and quieter. The steering wheel itself is beefier. The steering seems more direct. I think they shortened the ratio, so it seems a bit more direct, especially at lower speeds. And that's really about it. Let's dive into some of the features of this infotainment system and this vehicle that kind of set it apart. So one thing I would like to mention is that there are driver profiles. So you're actually able to set a driver profile with the settings that you prefer and change it based on who's driving the vehicle. Another aspect I'd like to mention is that there's Wi-Fi settings. So if you have the option, you can have a Wi-Fi hotspot from this car, I believe, and that's a new option for this year. Jump over to vehicle settings. There's a couple features here that were not present previously. So for example, let's see here. Of course we have welcome lighting, that's all the same. But if we scroll down to auto, door lock, and unlock, look at that. So you can auto door lock with vehicle speed when you shift it in or out of park, or you can turn it off. This was not a feature for previous generations of this vehicle, which is rather fun. On the backup camera, you do have guidance lines that move with your steering wheel. So as you can tell, that feature is turned on. So let's take a look. I'll pull the camera back here. We'll put it into reverse. And now you can see the steering wheel, and then you can see the camera with the guidance lines. So as we move the steering wheel, the lines move based on the predicted trajectory of the vehicle, which I think is a rather good feature to have, especially in parallel parking situations. So as you can tell, that's the chime for a no seat belt. It's actually a bit quieter than before, and after a few seconds it will actually increase the volume, to become a bit more annoying, so that you do put your seatbelt on. Another thing is that the lane departure warning is just a little bit more concise. It beeps less, so not to worry your passengers or annoy you too much, even though you like having it. It's less intrusive while still telling you the information that you need. Hey, well there you have it, guys. Those are a few things that I wanted to share with you that I've noticed that are improvements or slight upgrades on the 2018 Subaru Outback versus the 17. Same goes for the Legacy 17 versus 18. Now, are some of these worth an upgrade from any previous generation of this car? No, not at all. However, if you were shopping, maybe a used 17 versus a new 18, there are little features that you should at least experience and determine if it's necessary for you. Now, I am a owner of a 2017 Outback, so a lot of these little nuances stick out to me, whereas if you're just shopping for a new car, comparing this to the CR-V and the RAV4 and any other mid-size crossover vehicles out there, then I think these little nuances are helpful. So, do these upgrades make a difference to you? I think if you're in the market and you're comparing this to a few of the other vehicles, or you might be comparing this to a used 17, I would take a look at these features. I would also note that a lot of these new improvements are in the newest Impreza, the newest Crosstrek, this vehicle, and maybe not found in the Forester yet, depending on the situation. Oh, it's raining a little harder right now. So I would honestly say for this vehicle, you're probably good for the next few years as far as more upgrades. You're going to have a brand new vehicle most likely in 2020. Subaru Forester, I'd say wait till next year. It'll be a complete refresh of that model. And a lot of the features that you've seen in this vehicle are carryovers from the new 17 Impreza and 18 Crosstrek, which are on a new platform for Subaru. So that's soon to follow for this Forester and for the Outback, but until then they're just rolling in these features year by year and just making a better product. Honestly, this is a good car. It's quiet, it's reliable, it's good off-road, good on gas. You know, it's for the size and what it's made for. It can be a little fun, especially with the better steering ratio. So I think it's a good car. It's worth a test drive, and if you're in the market, go check it out. Thank you guys. This is your Fit Techie. More of a lifestyle review. I'd like to do some reviews that are based on fitness, that are also based on tech, but then also some things that I use in my daily life that just I think would be a benefit to anyone looking for that product or in the market for, say, this vehicle. So if you like the content, check out some of my other videos that are posted. I'm getting this channel started. I'm looking forward to putting some energy into it and really just pumping out some good product reviews. What I like to do is experience products and share them with you. I don't like to buy a bunch of products to compare just to say, hey, I have a video on it. I personally like to share products that I purchased for myself that I use in a daily situation and can speak on them with some history. Make sure you're on the lookout for some new videos coming soon. I'll have a review of the Withings/Nokia Steel HR, the Beats X, one of the new headphones with the Apple W1 chip, and a few others coming soon. Just want to share some products that I'm currently purchasing or have been using for the past few months that I think could be of value to you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Click subscribe to be on the lookout for the newest and greatest from this channel. And thank you for watching. Deuces.